Hi, I'm Daniel from Aarn Packs, and today we're going to take a look at the Featherlite Freedom and some of the updates we've made this year. At the start, you can see we've got a bare canister attached to it. This is a strap that we sell separately, but I just wanted to demonstrate how it hooks on. So that's what the straps look like. They just have 3 attachment points, 2 on the front of the pack here and 1 on the back. And that hook just can go in the handle or into this little loop that we've added, which keeps that handle free for hoiking that pack up and on. This pack comes with pockets, and it comes in 3 sizes. So there's a short back length, a medium back length, and a long back length. We'll talk a bit more about those later. But the volumes are 50 plus in the pack for the short, 55 in the medium, and 65 in the long back length. Plus you get the volume of the front pockets as well, and these come with the sports pockets. So if we just work our way down the pack, start with the fabrics. This is a mini Robic Gridstop fabric. It's 100D, and we also have on the bottom, the base is made up of Robic as well, with ultra high molecular weight polyethylene Gridstop in there, and that's a 210D fabric, so nice and tough. So then we have our updated attachment points on the pack here. We have these blue webbing tabs that we use. There's 4 on each side and 4 across the bottom. And then you can also use them across the front of the pack. So from this one to this one and this one to that one. We use them to attach our compression. These are our Lasso locks. And so you can do the normal compress down a pack with those. But we call them Lasso locks because they have little lassos. So if I open that loop up, they're great for just attaching something like a fly rod or your tent poles. And when you put them through that loop and then you compress again, it's just going to lock those in place in the side of the pack like that. But with these attachment points, you can use, like I say, our Lasso locks. You get 2 with this pack. We also sell them as a set of 4 as a separate item. And so if, say you wanted to put a sleeping mat across the bottom, then you can grab an extra set of those and put those attachments on the bottom. You can also use our ski straps and our snowshoe straps as well. So the ski straps, you can hook up on the side there, or on the snowshoe straps, then you can come across the front of the pack like that, from there to there, there to there, pop on some snowshoes. So if we keep working our way down the pack, then you've got 2 ice axe loops. We've got the loops down here and the corresponding hooks at the top there. So that's a nice addition for this year. They're also able to be tucked away in a little garage. So in the bottom of the pack there, if you're not using them, they can actually be tucked away. You can see one's out on this pack here and the other one's tucked away in the bottom there. These are also great for stowing your poles. So if you've got some telescoping poles, they can go in the side pocket or in the front pocket and still hook into those attachment points like that. The back here, we have a little tensioning system, so you can use that for throwing on some extra gear. There's a hook on that as well, so you can open it up, throw in a bag of potato chips and hook it back down, or just a little extra stuff you want to dry. It's good for that as well. So the front pocket is made up of Robic and mesh, again, so if you want to throw some stuff in there and let it drain away, you can do that throughout the day. In addition, talking about this loop here, we've got a little loop here. If you have a short ice axe, you can also take that off and move it down a level as well. These knots are all unfinished on the systems here, so that they are quick to field repair. So there's no plastic part that you have to take off. You can simply undo the knot and put in a new piece of elastic, or say you never ever use them, you can take them off and leave them at home. The pockets have got greater depth than the previous model. So this front pocket and the side pockets have greater depth and made up of a separate gusset there. So get lots of gear into the side there. Like perfect for like your Z poles, or throwing in those tent poles on the side there. Good for that. We've also added a tensioning system on the side here. There's a cord lock, and that is, again, unfinished with just a knot there. And we've got a little window in the side there you can get to undo the knot at that side and replace that cord if you need to. Right, so then if we spin around to the side here, this pack comes with those pockets, as I said before. One of the things we've done is update our hip belt side pocket tensioner system, which is this part here. So when you're wearing one of our packs, you want these pockets to kind of sit straight up and down in front of you. And so depending on your body shape, you can also hold them to the side if you like as well, using that system. And this was in the hip belt, but we've removed it for two reasons. One is we found that half of our customers don't use them, don't need them. Myself, I'm one of those people. I just take it off and leave it at home. And then 50% of the people do love these, being able to just tension that, control where those are sitting. So we've just removed it from the hip belt, made it as a separate item. Again, it makes it field repairable as well, so you can take that knot off, put in a new piece of elastic if you need to, if you break that for some reason. Then we've got the corresponding hooks on the hip belt and corresponding hook on the pocket. So you can control that by just tightening that up or releasing it as you like, or take it off. Cool, so then let's take a look at the pockets. So the pockets have been updated. We've got a deeper mesh front pocket. You still have your little pocket at the top, so you can throw in some different gear at the top there. But this is deeper, so that's better to take a phone or your glasses or something like that you want to keep safe in there. As is, it's pretty hard to get something out of that, but we've also added a little tensioning system in there with a little cord lock, so you can tighten that up and really, jump around, and you're not going to lose what's in those front pockets. Again, we're keeping in mind kind of like flexibility and fixability, like field repair. So it's just finished off with some knots. You can undo that and replace it, or you can undo it and leave it at home if you don't want to use it. Then at the top here, we have our bottle keeper. This has been updated, just a new toggle on there's nice rubbery feel to it. And again, that knot is unfinished, so you can change the size of the piece of elastic or take it off easily as well. But front pockets are great for also carrying water, so it's a good way of getting lots of weight into these pockets. Personally, I like to use a hard bottle like this. Some people will use soft flasks, but you can drop that bottle in there and then also have that bottle keeper on there, so that keeps that from being able to pop out when you make a jump across a stream or something like that. You can also do this so that it goes around the bottle, but you can change the size of that is the idea. Another update this year is on the back here, you'll see there's this toggle can be moved across these 3 points, but we'll do another video about that, so we can go into that detail later. That just lets you adjust where that pocket is sitting in or out. On the right pocket, you're going to find a new mesh pocket down the side. And again, that's just great for being able to get to your phone on, like 20 times a day to take photos. It's easy to get access to that while you're walking along and drop that phone back in there. It's a nice deep pocket, so again, it's going to keep that phone safe or whatever else you're putting in there. And then the last thing is we've replaced the removable backpack straps that came with these pockets, and we've added a single crossbody sling. So if you open that up, you're going to have a tensioner on one side. So there's got a hook at the top and the bottom. That's just going to hook into those tabs. You've got these blue tabs there. And so you've got a nice little crossbody sling then. So you head into town or head up to the summit like that. Just use it as a shoulder bag. You can even, there's enough web there that you can use it as a bum bag as well. So that's a nice little update for the pockets. So then if we take a look at the back of the pack, well, we can first take a look inside here. So inside the pack, so you've got the roll top closure, and inside here, when you open this up, there is a dry liner. Pull that out so you can have a little look. And the way we do this is we have hook and loop inside the top of the pack there, so that can first hook to itself and then makes it easy to roll and close, or roll and hook down. But it also holds that dry liner in. And then also, so you can remove it, you can take it out, you can repair it if you get a hole in it. But then inside there, you can see we've got a little bladder, place to hook up a bladder and an exit for the port. Oh, and just one more thing on the pockets. So inside here, there's also a dry bag. It's got hook and loop on the bag itself and corresponding inside the pocket to hold it in place. So it's a great way to store gear or separate gear. Personally, I'll fill that most of the way full and then throw stuff in there that I want to get to throughout the day. I can just do loose on top. And like I say, you can remove them, you can replace them, you can repair them, put tape on them, etc. So then the pockets themselves, I'll just show you how they attach to the back panel. So there's a loop at the top here, this ring that travels on the shoulder straps. Then you had your pocket tensioners, so I'll just unhook that. And then at the bottom here, we have just a dome that holds that in place. And that load is transferred through a piece of metal there in the hip belt itself. And so you've got 3 attachment points that's holding on that pocket. And then if I just turn this around so you can see at the back here, this is a frame, a metal frame that holds the weight of all the gear you're putting in there. You're trying to put as much heavy, small stuff as you can. Phones, battery packs, gas canister, throw in your water at the front. Really load these up, and that way you get that transfer, pushing the weight into your hip belt and helping to balance out your load forward. All right, so then let's take a look at the back frame. We have a perimeter frame that we use, and that allows us to do a couple different things when we have our mesh back panel. So that gives that nice gap back there, lots of air movement. And I'll just pop this other pocket off as well so you can see a bit better. So we have our U-flow system on this pack, which allows us to lift a shoulder, drop a shoulder. So all the things we're trying to do is keep your body moving in a natural position. So if you reach for a tree or you're using your walking poles, grab a rock, then your pack stays where it is, but your shoulders can move. So we do that by attaching the shoulder straps to themselves, interconnected through the bottom of the pack. The shoulder straps themselves are made of some nice foam and some 3D mesh, so they're super comfortable. They travel on a track here in the back of the pack, so this can move up or down. There's a cam device in there, and that's what controls our back length. So we've got an orange web here that's just going to release that. So if I pull this one, that's going to bring it to its tallest point. And then a corresponding webbing down the bottom here. If I pull this, this is going to shorten the back length. So I can go from the shortest position to the tallest position. We call this on adjust because you can wear your pack and adjust it yourself while you're wearing it. So brand new pack, take it home, load it up, get your hip belt on, get your shoulder straps adjusted a little bit, and then any slack that you've got in the back there, you can take out by just pulling down on that piece there. Easy to adjust yourself on the go. Then at the top here, this year we've added just a little keeper. So when the pack arrives, this will be loose. You can adjust that and then tuck it away. And the idea behind that is in high winds or whatever, if this is flapping around, it just gives a nice little tidy up. Right, so then if we take a look at the top of the shoulder straps, this one is, and look at these load lifters, this is a long back length. And new this year for the long back length only, we've added 2 attachment points for these load lifters. So there's a little gatekeeper on there, so you can click that open and you can move it down a level. And it just means that those long back lengths, you can fit a greater variety of long torsos with that system. Right. Our back mesh panel is ventilated, as I mentioned before, and it's also adjustable. So before I move on, I'll just show you can pop this open here and you can control how tensioned this back panel is. Dial that in as you like, clip it closed. Now let's take a look at the hip belt. So this is our pelvic form hip belt. It's basically carried on one single plate here, which is affixed to one single point. And because of that, it allows us to have movement in two directions. We have side-to-side movement, and we have forward movement as well. So what that looks like is this can come away from the pack this direction. So say you're taking a big step up onto a rock, your body can lean forward and move forward, and the pack stays where it is. And the same thing with just pretty much every time you take a step, this is going to rotate with your body as you walk, and that just allows it to do this a little bit at a time. So if we look at the detail of the hip fins, this comes in 4 different sizes, small through extra large. And then within that size, besides the normal adjustment with the straps, you can also adjust the hip fins as well. So you can micro adjust these. They come together or they can come out as well. So you can really dial in where that's sitting on your hip. In addition, we have a stiffer material and a softer material, and we design in this folding point here, this sewn-in crease, and that allows us to wrap this over top of your hips. And we achieve that through our dual adjust system. So the webbing at the top is going to travel all the way through that top panel, and the webbing at the bottom is fixed here. And so you can adjust this more at the bottom, or when you adjust at the top, that's going to cause this to start to wrap and roll over top of your hips. It just creates that nice little comfortable, well, it's super comfortable, sits on top of your hip bones there. So that's a nice feature. And then we have our quadro buckle. So if we go back to pack here, that just fits together under tension. That webbing is attached top and bottom, and it spreads that load this direction and also gives us a quick release as well. So there we have a pretty detailed look at the Featherlite Freedom. It's available in stores and at aarnpacks.com. Come check them out.